Once in the highlands of Sumatra, there lived a humble farmer named Toba. He was a kind man, but also a lonely one. One day, while fishing in a river, he caught a magnificent golden fish. To his astonishment, the fish transformed into a beautiful woman. "Oh, wise farmer," she said, "I am a princess who has been cursed by my wicked stepmother. Only if a good and honest man marries me and promises to never reveal my origins, can I break the curse and regain my true form." Touched by her tale and captivated by her beauty, Tobar agreed without hesitation. Soon they exchanged vows in a simple but heartfelt ceremony, and she became his wife. Their love grew with each passing day, and eventually she bore him a son, whom they named Samosir. Samosir was a strong and energetic boy, but also possessed an insatiable appetite. One day, Toba toiled in his fields, parched with thirst and hunger. He told his wife to pack some rice paper and fish crackers for him, as he had not eaten since dawn. "Please bring the food to me in the fields, my love," he requested. "Of course, my dear husband," she replied, kissing his cheek. "I shall bring you nourishment to sustain your strength." But when she turned to leave, Samasi, consumed by hunger, snatched the basket containing the food. Before his mother could stop him, he had devoured every last morsel. When Toba returned home, famished after a long day in the fields, he found no food awaiting him. Enraged and overwhelmed with hunger, he bellowed, "So you have tricked me once again. I should have known better than to trust you. How can I work the land without sustenance? Are you mocking me?" His wife, taken aback by his sudden fury, tried to explain, "My love, I am innocent. Our son, Samasi, ate the food intended for you. I swear I did not deceive you." But Toba, driven by hunger and exhaustion, refused to listen. He grabbed his wife by the shoulder, shaking her violently, and screamed, "You are the daughter of a fish! You are the daughter of a fish!" His words echoed through the valley, carrying with them a dark power. As soon as Toba uttered these forbidden words, the sky darkened ominously. The wind picked up, swirling and whistling through the trees. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning split the sky, followed by a deafening roar of thunder. The earth trembled beneath their feet as if awakened from a deep slumber. Panicked, Tobar realized the gravity of his actions. He had broken his promise to his wife, and now the very foundations of their world were coming undone. The water in the nearby river began to rise rapidly, spilling over its banks and surging toward the village. Homes were quickly submerged, and the once familiar streets became raging torrents. Desperate, Toba ran through the chaos, seeking higher ground. But no matter where he went, the water followed, rising higher and higher. With each passing moment, the deluge grew more intense, transforming the landscape into a churning, frothing sea. Houses, trees, and even mountains seemed to vanish beneath the relentless waves. Amidst the roaring waters, a small figure stood defiantly. It was Samasi, his eyes wide with fear, yet determined to resist the overwhelming force of nature. Summoning all his strength, he raised his arms toward the sky and roared, "Stop, you evil spirits, do not harm our home." But his pleas were lost in the wind, drowned out by the cacophony of the storm. Then, in a final act of defiance, he jumped into the raging waters, hoping to stem the rising tide. Yet the water kept rising, swallowing everything in its path. Meanwhile, Toba's wife stood at the edge of a hill, watching in horror as the village was consumed by water. Her heart shattered at the sight of her people being swept away, their cries echoing in her ears. With tears streaming down her face, she transformed back into her true form, a magnificent golden fish, powerful and graceful. Then, diving into the turbulent waters, she swam against the current, determined to save her son. But it was too late. When she reached the spot where Samir had jumped, she could find no trace of him. The water was so murky that she couldn't see, and the current was so strong that she struggled to keep her balance. Suddenly, she felt a sharp pain in her side, and as she looked down, she saw a large fish trying to bite her tail. Startled, she thrashed about, and in doing so, accidentally knocked a rock into the water. The rock landed with a loud splash, and in that instant, the water seemed to still. As the golden fish looked around, she realized that the water had receded, revealing a vast, tranquil lake in its place. The surrounding hills were now an island, and in the distance, she could see her village, completely submerged. And then, through the mist, she saw him, her son, standing tall and proud on a small patch of land in the center of the lake. He looked back at her, his eyes filled with wonder and joy. As the golden fish watched, the island grew larger and greener, becoming a sanctuary for the people of the village. Soon the waters settled, creating a deep and serene lake. The island where Samasi stood became known as Sumatra, and the magnificent body of water surrounding it was named Lake Toba. And so the legend of Lake Toba was born, a testament to the folly of breaking promises and the enduring power of love and sacrifice. In the heart of the lake, a single golden banyan tree stood majestically, symbolizing the connection between the divine and the mortal realm. Its roots whiles away the eons, patiently bearing witness to the ebb and flow of time. Underneath its sprawling branches, the Batak people have built their homes, living in harmony with the spirit of Lake Toba. For generations, they have revered the lake as a sacred place, believing it to be the dwelling place of ancestral spirits. The water is said to possess mystical healing powers, and those who bathe in it are said to be cured of illness and pain. Fishermen brave the lake's depths, casting their nets in hopes of catching the legendary golden fish, a symbol of prosperity and good fortune. And when the moon casts its silvery light upon the water, the lake transforms into a magical realm, where mythical creatures are said to roam and ancient spirits are believed to dance. One day, a young girl named Maya dared to venture near the lake after sunset. She was drawn by the mystical tales her grandmother had told her about the island and the legendary fish. As she approached the water's edge, she heard a faint melody, like the whisper of a forgotten song. Curiosity filled her heart, and she couldn't resist the urge to explore. Suddenly the trees parted, revealing a path leading directly to the lake. Hesitantly, she stepped onto the path, and as she did, the melody grew louder, beckoning her forward. The sound seemed to emanate from the lake itself, calling out to her like a distant memory. As she walked, the trees closed behind her, creating a tunnel of leaves and branches. When she finally emerged on the other side, she gasped in awe. Before her lay a world unlike any she had ever seen. The lake shimmered under the moonlight, and the surrounding hills were bathed in an ethereal glow. But what truly captured her attention was a group of villagers dancing in a circle in the center of it all. They were dressed in colorful traditional clothing, and their movements were graceful and rhythmic, as if they were one with the music. As Maya watched, entranced, one of the dancers noticed her and beckoned with a smile. Hesitantly, she joined the circle, and as the music swelled, she found herself swept up in the joyous celebration. They danced until the moon reached its zenith, and as the night wore on, Maya felt a deep sense of connection with the villagers and the land itself. Finally, as the first rays of sunlight began to peek over the horizon, the dancing came to an end. The villagers gathered around Maya, their faces filled with warmth and kindness. They offered her water from a coconut shell and shared stories of the lake's magic and the spirits that resided within it. When the sun had risen high in the sky, it was time for Maya to return. The villagers walked her back to the edge of the lake, and as she turned to leave, they sang an ancient song of farewell. As Maya made her way home, she carried with her the laughter and the warmth of the villagers, and the magic of the lake filled her heart. From that day forward, she knew that the legends of Lake Toba were more than just stories. They were a way of life, a celebration of nature, and a testament to the enduring spirit of the Batak people. Today, Lake Toba remains a place of mystery and wonder. Visitors from all over the world come to experience its tranquility and soak in the beauty of its surroundings. But those who venture here are not just seeking a scenic escape. Many come to pay homage to the legendary figures of the Batak tales, hoping to catch a glimpse of the golden fish or feel the presence of ancestral spirits. As the sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the water, the legend of Lake Toba comes alive once again. The lake transforms into a magical realm, where the boundaries between the real and the mythical seem to blur. The golden banyan tree stands sentinel, watching over the timeless beauty of the lake and the enduring spirit of the Batak people.